So what happens when a concept you love meets with a genre you don't? Well, I think we're about to find out. Unfriended is the latest horror movie to hit theaters, this time with a high concept dragging along. That is that it takes place entirely on one character's computer screen. That's right, the movie screen is their computer screen. I actually love this concept, and I will say this right up front, I loved the execution of it. I thought the way it integrated all the different parts of what we do on our computers and told this story at the same time was very interesting and fun. It reminded me a lot, obviously, of the most recent, not the most recent, but of a recent Modern Family episode where they did the exact same thing. I think it all took place kind of from Claire's computer screen. And it's that, but it's a horror movie. So of course it has to have all the horror movie staples of jump scares and creepy things happening, and when that happens on your computer, that adds a new element. So I kind of actually enjoyed that. I'm not a horror movie guy per se, we've talked about this before, but this one does all right. It doesn't rely on that stuff as much as some do, and the concept is high enough to elevate it in my mind. Plus, I think these performances are really good, with a couple exceptions of kind of the 5 or so characters we see on her computer screen. I think, let's just say the majority, 3 out of 5, do a really good job of conveying kind of the emotion of what's going on here, from regret to guilt to fear to anger, and they do a good job, especially the girl who's kind of at the center of it. I think she's phenomenal. I think she really does a good job. And just to give you a little backstory, it is also about cyberbullying. The whole concept takes place because of a cyberbullying incident, which we've heard about in the news many times in these recent years. And that adds another element of interest for me where I'm like, okay, this movie's not just doing something interesting, it's saying something important, something valuable about the consequences of when we take the opportunity just because others are piling on to make fun of somebody because of something and to, bully them because something happened in their life or they made a mistake. And it really paints that picture in a very vivid light, those consequences. Of course, the consequences here are, that possibly the demon of the person bullied will continue to haunt you in your computer. I don't know that that's real life, but there are real life consequences that might feel like that, which adds a metaphorical, kind of level to this. Now, lest you think I'm, praising this too much, it's still a typical horror movie in a lot of ways, and so I didn't love it. Because it's a horror movie, it gets a little ridiculous for me. There are just some things about it that I'm like, no, I can't buy into that. I don't buy into the realness of that. I would have rather it left it a little more abstract and letting us believe, oh, maybe somebody is setting this up, maybe this, is it a ghost? Kind of leave it more abstract like that, but it's a little too ridiculous in kind of how it paints that picture in some ways. So because of that, I can't give it a wholehearted recommendation, especially if you don't love horror movies. If you love horror movies, full recommendation. You're gonna love it and you're going to enjoy the concept, I think. If you don't, I don't think there's any reason to see this. If you can stand horror movies and you want to see kind of creative movie making, maybe it might be for you. But overall, I enjoyed it just enough to give it a B- is where I would land on this one for Unfriended. Interesting stuff. At least they're trying something new, right? At least it's not, another caught on camera failed movie where it's completely ridiculous. So I'll give them benefit of the doubt for that. Thanks for checking this out. Leave a comment kind of what you think. Be sure to click the cards over here so you know where the website is, other recent reviews that have happened. Throw a buck or two my way. I think that's in there too. If you want to support your movie friend, you like the reviews here, I would absolutely appreciate that. Just $1. It'd mean the world to me. Subscribe's going to be right up here if you want to subscribe to the channel. And as always, I'll give you 5 extra seconds to hit the subscribe button.